You want to take a peek inside of my journal? Whew. So many of us are walking around with invisible scripts in our heads, scripts that we never gave to anybody. We were just hoping people in our lives, like our children, our spouse, our coworkers, our friends, people at church or in our organizations, that they would just know their lines. They would just know how to treat us. And we assume that if we give love, if we show up, if we serve, they'll do the same in return. Here's the truth that I'm realizing. We can set expectations in silence. And then we feel betrayed by what we never even communicated. We just assumed. We get upset when they don't act right. But we never told them what we needed. We just assumed it. Many of us pour from a full cup expecting to be refilled, only to feel empty and disappointed. Listen, people cannot honor a contract they never signed. They cannot play a part, a role that they never auditioned for. They don't know your heart unless you open it up. And look, especially for little girls, we were soaked in stories and fairy tales and romantic movies and the glossy magazines. And now the social media feeds with these extravagant weddings, extravagant proms, extravagant baby reveals, extravagant traveling. And I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying you have no idea what this is doing to your mind. Because these images, if you're constantly looking at them, they are subliminally telling you that you are not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not spiritual enough, and that, you just begin to feel like, wow, I should be different. We grow up thinking that love should just be automatic, that if we just poured into other people, our children, our spouse, our friends, our coworkers, that they're just going to pour right back into us. We were not trained. We were not programmed. We were not taught. Many of us were programmed by that our parents are supposed to be perfect, our childhood is supposed to be perfect, that society is fair, and that if we follow the right path, we could avoid loss, we could avoid hurt, we could avoid struggle, we could avoid unemployment, disappointments, and even sickness if we just do X, Y, Z. If we could just be good and do good, we will never experience heartache or sickness or setbacks. Now, this is what I am coming to understand, that we have to learn and we have to teach our children that life is not a straight line. We must learn not to assume and have unrealistic expectations. Shift happens. That's why I wrote the book. Shift happens. Accidents happen. Setbacks happen. You could do all the right things and still experience divorce, a broken relationship, betrayal, or loved ones living a life you didn't expect. Many of us are in personal or working relationships, and we're operating in a I can't even get the word out. We are operating in assumption, unspoken, unshared, or unagreed upon contracts. We're operating in expectations and scripts. Look, I'm guilty. Done it in my marriage, done it with raising my children, done it with friends, done it with people that I work with. I just assumed that if I did this, then certainly this would follow. But here's the truth. We set expectations in silence. We give people roles in our lives without ever giving them the script. And then we get hurt. We get disappointed. We get bitter or we get angry because they didn't follow the right lines. They didn't say the right thing. We just assume that if I sacrifice for my family, they're going to show appreciation. I had to learn the hard way to stop assuming that the way I operate in my home, that everybody's going to have the same value system about what should be done, cleaning the house, sharing in tasks, purchases. Man, I I just assumed that if I just do everything, that everybody would just pitch in. Everybody would say, oh, let me help or let me do. But I never learned until late how I have to express what I'm expecting. I'm expecting partnership. I'm expecting help. I'm expecting that you would pitch in. But see, I operated in silence. I never really spoke up about what I needed. Instead, I used to just get resentful. I would just get angry. And like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? Nothing. Because it took me a while to find my voice and to be honest and to bring clarity to my relationships rather than just expecting everybody to read my mind. If I show up at church or work with loyalty, they'll respect me. If I love him or I love her right, he'll change. If I'm just a better child, my parents will love me and accept me. If I'm just a better friend and I pour and pour and pour, she or he will be a good friend to me. If I'm there for them, they'll be there for me. I'm not trying to paint a negative picture. It's just that I'm in a season of my life when I'm realizing I've got to accept the reality that life is not a straight line, that everybody doesn't think like me. I'm going around looking for Jewel, that people are going to think like me, act like me, love like me, serve like me. That is a setup. People cannot honor our expectations if they're never spoken. They can't read the lines in a play where they were never casted in it. They can't feel guilt for not meeting the needs you didn't even know you had. Oh my God, I'm thinking about a business venture I did a long time ago. And I just assumed that this lady that was partnering with me would have the same passion, the same drive, the same professionalism. And it was such a big disappointment. But I realized I didn't communicate what I was expecting in the partnership. I just assumed, oh, we're good friends. We're good friends. And everything is going to be okay. But there was no contract. I didn't talk about what I expected. She didn't talk about what she was willing to give. And so it just blew up. We have childhood fantasies. We look at magazines. We look at Instagram and Facebook and all these little stories where we don't know the complete story. And they have us chasing perfection instead of learning how to just practice being in the moment. Unspoken needs are rarely met. What I'm learning is that clarity, being clear, that's kindness to yourself and to the other people. And I've learned that you can love people and still speak up. I've learned that I can rewrite my script at any time, but I've got to communicate it. I've got to let go of fantasy that people are just going to know, that they're going to read my mind. I've learned I've got to tell the truth and ask for what I need and be willing to listen, even if I don't get the answer that I want. Because what I've come to understand is that I deserve mutual, reciprocal relationships, not being a martyr. I deserve clarity. I don't need to create confusion. I want peace. I don't want to have this pressure to perform. I hope this is helping you because I'm reading from my journal. Oh. And as I'm reading it, I'm giving myself permission to stop suffering in silence, that I've got to speak up, not with anger, but with clarity. And my friend, those of you that are listening, can I just tell you, say what you need, say what you feel, say what you expect. And if the people can't meet you there, at least you know it wasn't your silence that kept them hurting or kept you hurting. You honored yourself. You honored what you needed. You honored what you feel, and you honored what you expect. Reduce the confusion. Create clarity. Know that you can have more peace because reality wins every time. Reality wins every time. Life will hurt. People will disappoint. We can be betrayed. We will bury loved ones. Relationships will end. Yeah. Contracts can blow up in your face. A job can let you go. People could be unfair. People can be racist. People can be manipulative. People can be selfish. Open up your eyes and train yourself to live in the reality that you can live in the reality with optimism. I'm not trying to paint a negative picture here. I'm just saying operate in the reality that there are no guarantees. There are no straight lines. Honor yourself. Preserve your peace. And if you want relationships in your life, do not operate in silent expectations and assume that people can read your mind or will have the same value system that you live by. God bless you. This is Jewel Diamond Taylor reading from my journal. God bless you and stay in the light.